Azadeh Mashiri there. With me in the studio is our environment correspondent, Naveen Singh Khadka, who has reported from this area many times before. I know the pictures are extraordinary, huge volumes of water crashing down this valley. What do we know about the area and the numbers of people that might be involved?
Well, this is it's a very, very difficult terrain, as you can imagine. The Himalayas, both sides in Nepal as well as in Tibet. You know, it's this entire place with these mountain ranges, and not just the mountains, the rivers and rivulets. They are the mediums. Whatever happens on the mountains, those rivers and rivulets are the medium to bring those things. It's known as the cascading disaster now, cascading hazards. So this is one thing that we've been seeing. You know, in this region, it's happened again. Downstream, you know, it's a massive, massive damaging situation. Stories still unfolding. Bridges gone. Hydropower stations gone, you know, warehouses gone, bazaars, you know, marketplaces, villages gone, one after another. The only good news I have now for, you know, when I was speaking to Met Office experts just now was at least the river level has gone down in downstream. But here's the catch. We're getting mixed information on those, where exactly it happened. Might there be another impounded, you know, section of the river that could blast again? Might there be not? It might not be as big as this, but there might be again. That is the question. That's why this is like in depth. We're still trying to find out what's going on.
You seem to be signalling here that this, in some respects, is a guessing game for the Nepalese authorities. How much monitoring of these waters and the rivers and the valleys above is done by the Chinese authorities?
So see, you guessed it right. So, you know, this is something similar we reported from the ground in 2016, for instance, when we exposed that there was no communication at all.
Oh, there's not?
There was, at least we exposed back then. And now when I'm checking with authorities in Nepal, then they're saying it's more or less the same story. There's no communication. So two things here. First of all, are these places being monitored in the wake of climate change, in the wake of all this, what we are seeing? You know, I call them, you know, the cement on the mountains are disappearing. So mountains are coming down. So are we monitoring those risks, A? And B, more importantly, is it being communicated downstream? So, for example, Tibet, you know, the Tibet authorities, Chinese authorities, do they communicate it to Nepal? And then Nepal further downstream. Remember, these rivers all flow down to the Ganges, you know, India.
And is that risk more acute because of the global warming?
So, all right, look, I mean, this is, again, we'll need to find out what exactly happened here. Just before I came here, one official told me they have received one satellite picture where they have seen that a massive, massive ice chunk is seen to have come down. That is what's happened. Now, again, the question here is global warming at play here? And many times when things like this happen, experts tell us that yes, because of the rapid melting of glaciers, mountains are destabilizing, and these glacier chunks and glacial lakes are bursting out, coming down, and all these rivers and rivulets, they bring down those sludge, the boulders, sediment, and then wipe out everything. It could be the case. But yes, we do definitely know for sure that mountains are destabilizing, the glaciers are disappearing, glacial lakes are becoming dangerous. In this case, there might not be a glacial lake. There might not be. That's what they're saying. It might be a case of, you know, the rocks and glaciers. And interestingly, you see, when they fall down from that height, what happens is that massive chunk of ice, when the friction happens with the rocks, that becomes water. Sometimes we are left wondering, where's the water? Where did it come from? There was not so much water, but in the past also we have found they have shown that friction, you know, along the way generates that volume of water, and then it mixes with the water downstream, massive flood, and everything gets wiped out.
Naveen, thank you very much for that. I should just point you to the BBC Live page that we're running on this story. There's some extraordinary detail.